Welcome to Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and current topics related to all things in the blind and partially sighted community. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the founder of Blind Beginnings and your host, Shawn Marcellet, and whatever co-host is on this week. Now, here's your host, Shawn.
I'm Shawn Marcellet, and this is Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast. And my co-host today is Jinnie. Hi, Jinnie.
Hi, Shawn. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Awesome. And today we're talking with one of our younger Blind Beginnings members, Nolan. Welcome, Nolan.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Oh, my name is Nolan. I'm 12 years old. I'm blind. I have an eye condition called Leber's congenital amaurosis, and I can see a little bit of light. I'm a Braille reader, and I just graduated from grade 7 in elementary school, and I'm going off to middle school now.
And where do you live?
I live in Pouce Coupe.
And where the heck is that? Because I bet you, I know I didn't know where it was when I first heard of it.
It's in BC.
It's one of my favorite words now. I just want to add that in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
It's actually 2 words. Coupe is actually, so Pouce is spelled, this is a fun fact, Pouce is spelled Pouce, and Coupe is spelled Coupe. So Pouce and Coupe are actually the words, but like the same word, but the P and the C are switched around.
Ah, cool.
Awesome. Fun fact. So, Nolan, we didn't know you until the beginning of the pandemic. How did you hear about Blind Beginnings and what made you want to get involved?
Well, it was because I believe my parents had heard it before, and a friend of the family one time had another friend who was in Blind Beginnings, and they recommended it for us, but we're not really in the Vancouver area, so we hadn't really been involved in it until now.
Yeah, so having our online programs made it more accessible for you.
Yes.
So which programs do you participate in, and do you have any favorites?
My favorite, first I'll tell you about what programs I participated in, then I'll talk about my favorites. So I participated, back when it was going on, I participated in the Meet a Mentor Monday, the Kids Connect Junior support groups, the What do you want to be when you grow up Wednesday, and then I used to participate in the Accessible Story Time, and then Fitness Friday, but then everything started kind of getting changed around for school. Some of the programs were moved into different days, and then some just didn't exist anymore. I now participate in the Kids Connect Junior support group, the Creating Connections thing that happens every month, and the summer camp thing. I used to do the yoga classes, but recently I've started going to the gym, and I find that I'm really exhausted after coming back from the gym. Right. So I don't always feel like doing yoga on the same days.
Do you go to the gym every day?
Almost every day.
Oh,
wow,
that's awesome.
That's commitment.
What kind
of I don't have?
What kind of workouts are you doing?
Well, there's all sorts of different ones. Like, I always do cardio every day. Then some days I do shoulders. Some days I do back workouts and bicep workouts. All sorts of different ones.
And do you go with your family?
With my mom.
Awesome.
Oh,
so
nice.
That must have been hard then when you couldn't go to the gym during the pandemic. Like, was that Was that
No.
3 years?
I only started going recently.
Oh, so
Ah.
since the online classes that you've been doing through Blind Beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what do you think of the gym?
The gym's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So which programs have you enjoyed the most?
Yeah.
Well, so I found the Meet a Mentor Mondays, the Kids Connect, and the accessible story time specifically to be interesting, but after a while I kind of decided that I wasn't really into the stories anymore because it's kind of for a younger age group.
Right.
And then the Meet a Mentor Mondays stopped happening, and
So
the
you'd
Kids
like to
Connect is definitely my favorite now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it is. Woohoo!
Oh, and I completely forgot to mention the Harry Potter Club.
Oh
Right.
yeah, right. You're doing that with
Mhm.
us now too.
Yes, I'm doing that, and it's also happening today at 4, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Mm.
We're reading chapters
3
3
and
and
4.
4.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, so it sounds like you miss Meet a Mentor. Would you like to see that one coming back?
Yeah, I think it would be fun to see that one coming back.
Okay. I remember actually one Monday you actually said you
Oh
asked
yeah.
if you could be interviewed as a mentor, and here we are on this podcast interviewing you.
Yes.
So,
And
Yay.
speaking of that, remember my last interview on that
oh
Tuesday
yeah.
last week with the accessible media people?
Yes.
They referred to me as a youth leader of Blind Beginnings.
Oh, well,
Um,
you're not quite a youth leader yet, but I think
No,
you will be. So that's okay.
I know, but I know because the youth leaders are the ones like in charge of organizing all of the events,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
yeah, we're
isn't that
basically
that
your
when you get
boss.
interviewed? Isn't that when you get interviewed?
No, but the youth leaders have been through a youth leader training program, and then they volunteer for Blind Beginnings and help with programs. So Jinnie's a youth leader.
Mhm.
And well, do you want to say anything about being a youth leader, Jinnie?
I was gonna say I can't tell if I'm a youth leader now still or if I'm a youth mentor.
Well, yeah, it gets a bit foggy once they become older than 19, and then it's kind of like, are you still a youth, really? I don't know, but both.
But it's fun. So you do the training, and then after the training, you can start volunteering with Blind Beginnings, and there's people there to help you. So you can do, for example, the newsletter committee and help help us write like pieces about events, and then we put them into one big newsletter and send it out to people so they can read it. Or you can be a part of the podcast group and help us find people to interview and figure out what topics we're going to discuss each week. So there's like different things that you can get involved with once you finish the training.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to do some youth leader training in the fall. We're going to have to do it differently because of the coronavirus, but it'll be online. So maybe that'll be something you'll want to sign up for.
Oh, there's not like an age limit for the youth leader training?
It's 13 to 19, but I think your
Ooh.
birthday's coming up, isn't it?
Yes, my birthday is literally this week.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So you're going to be 13. How exciting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Entering teenagehood.
I think I'm going to ask you an interesting question. Nolan, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'd probably like to be an author. I'm really into writing stories and all that stuff.
Welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome to the club.
Really?
Yes, I like writing too, and I'm studying creative writing in university. Do you have anything specific that you like to write about, like a specific genre?
Science fiction and fantasy.
Okay.
I'm currently writing a book series about these kids who can travel into other dimensions, who have to fight aliens and ghosts and time traveling supervillains, all sorts of different stuff.
Wow. So you're okay. I want to pause for a sec. You're writing a book series.
Not like I'm not gonna publish it or anything for
No.
like
I just mean you're
Now
writing books, right?
I'm
You're
writing
writing-
books.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you've gotten farther than I've gotten. I have not been able to finish a single book because I always get distracted. So props to you for that, because I cannot do that.
Have you actually finished a book, Nolan?
I have finished some books, but I have a bit of a problem with the length of the book.
Mm.
My longest actual book that wasn't just a bunch of them put together was, I believe, 9,000 words.
Oh my.
Is that a lot? I don't know.
Well,
Um,
so actually, no, Nolan, that's not a lot. So a typical novel, I'm just surprised that you wrote so much and I have not. So for a novel, the typical word count is anywhere from 60,000 words to 80,000 words. That's
Wow.
like your typical novel, and then anything kind of lower than that, there's like the short story category. There's novellas as well. So
Hmm.
yours might fall into a novella.
I want to, like, when I get older, I'm going to try my best to write novels.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you want to, after you graduate school, do you know if you want to go into writing or go into something else if you pursue like further education?
Honestly, right now, I would say writing, but you never know. By then, I could have discovered something else I want to do with my life.
Right.
Very likely, yes. I think I changed my mind a few times during my life, so it could happen. So you're also a very accomplished musician, which you did not mention in your introduction. In fact,
Oh, yes.
you have your own YouTube page. Can you remind us what that's called?
Ultimate Fiddle Player 1 is my YouTube name.
Awesome. And
Okay.
I did check out the first video, I guess it would be. And
Yep.
it was awesome. I couldn't figure out how to get to the other ones from the one that you sent me, so I need to now Google it properly with the title and figure it out. But tell us how. Okay, first of all, how did it all start? When did you start
When
playing
did
the
I start playing the
or fiddle?
fun
thing.
fact, violin and fiddle are the same thing.
I know you taught me that.
For any of our listeners
They are?
for any of our listeners who does not know, violin and fiddle are the same instrument, just different styles of music.
Yeah, that's so cool. I didn't know that because
Wait.
I've always loved the fiddle. I mean, not that I don't love the violin, but
Oh
I love the
god.
fiddle type music. It's super fun and energetic, and it's very, very
Bouncy.
So
Mhm.
how I started playing the fiddle was, I was 7 years old and I was visiting some family in Ottawa, and we were just walking around one day taking a walk, and we were on the street and we saw a guy playing violin. Now that I think about it, I think he may have been playing fiddle.
Okay.
And I said,
They're the same thing, you know.
yeah, well, what I meant is, like, he was
I
playing
know,
violin,
it's
but
so
I was thinking maybe fiddle style music, and
Mhm.
I was thinking, wow, that's a cool sound. And one day, like, we were driving back from our family in Ottawa, we were leaving because it was not like we went on this trip right in the middle of the, like, right in May or something, so school was still going on and all of
Mhm.
that. So then we were driving back to our house, and then my dad asks me, Nolan, if you were given the choice, what instrument would you play? Piano, guitar, or violin? So, and then I, like, remembered about the guy I'd heard playing violin that one day, and I said, I think I'd like to do the violin.
That's
And
cool.
then one day my dad is going on, like, we get back, this is during the summer, or actually it's quite a lot afterwards, so I'd nearly forgotten about this. So school started for the next year, and then my dad says he's going on a business trip, and then he goes on the trip, and then he says that he saw a violin for sale at some point, like, he comes back home. I asked him if he didn't get if he got the violin. Then he says he did not get the violin. Then the next day he comes into my room and says, Nolan, here's your new violin. Apparently he was waiting to surprise me with it.
Aww.
And then I went and I started playing it, and then the next
Wait a
year
second. You went and started playing it. Did you take
Yeah.
lessons,
Are
or
you
did
a
you just
prodigy?
figure it out?
I'm getting to that. In the
Okay, sorry.
summer, I went to kind of a music camp thing.
Mm.
It was during the day, I
Yep,
would
like
go
a
to
day
the
camp.
building, day camp for music. And there was me and one other guy. We were the only violin players. I kind of got a little bit of a understanding of how it worked. When school started back up, my dad decided I should take lessons, and then he signed me up for lessons. And as it turned out, the teacher who was teaching me was apparently the teacher of the person who had previously owned my violin,
Huh.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
because she recognized it clearly as her former student's violin.
Wow.
But they'd lost interest in playing and gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that was weird, because not only did I have another violin, but I had a teacher who taught someone with the very same violin.
So I have a question. So when you were taking classes and learning to play the violin, did you use music, like read music, whether that was in Braille, or were you taught by ear?
I was taught by ear.
Okay. So how's that? Like, do you find that you have you're able to identify different notes and different pitches?
Yes. You know how they say that if you're blind, your other senses are a lot better?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like that way with my sense of hearing, so I was...
Okay.
Do you have perfect pitch?
I think I don't really know if I have that, actually.
Like if I played a note, would you know what note it was?
I would know what note it was, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty perfect pitchy to me.
Yeah, it is. There's someone who could do that on a phone. Like, those old style phones that we don't have now, those landlines. And yeah, they'd play a number, or several numbers, and they'd be able to tell by the tone of the beep
Yep.
what number they were punching in. I think you also know this person,
I
Shawn.
do know that person, and it's his party trick, and it's pretty cool.
I know, it's just so sweet. I wonder if Nolan
Is he part of Blind Beginnings?
Yeah, he
This
used to be
person-
on the board of Blind Beginnings. He's visually impaired too, but he's yeah, he can totally name the notes. He has perfect pitch. I know quite a few people with perfect pitch. I'm very impressed with people who can do that.
Do you have it yourself?
No, I do not. And I was very musical as a kid. I played the piano, and I played the flute and the trumpet and the trombone for a short time, and really into music. And I do not have perfect pitch. I can sort of figure out a tune if I hear it, but not perfectly. It takes me a few tries and fumbles, and
that's where I'm at too. But I want to learn perfect pitch.
I don't think you can. I don't know if you can learn it. I feel like you just have it or you don't. I don't know.
Well, you could train for it if you're training by ear. Like, you have to be able to recognize the notes, right? Or possibly?
You can become better at that, but I don't know that you can learn perfect pitch.
The ability, the basic form of the ability itself, you just have. You don't really learn it, but you can learn to develop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of I think of it like a photographic memory. Like, some people just have that. I don't think you can teach yourself to have it if you don't, but I'm not sure. Never actually studied or Googled that, but
I do not have a photographic memory.
most blind people don't, actually.
I have a decent memory, but it's not perfect.
Yeah. I have a pretty good memory. I feel like you have to, right? Because you have to remember where you put things, because you're not going to be able to glance around the room and see them. So
Yeah.
it helps if you can remember.
I have a good one. It's just not like the one of those. I
Yeah.
have like good memory, just good as expected, but I'm not like one of those people with like above everything.
So
Memory.
tell us more about this YouTube channel. Like, how many videos do you have on there? How often do you post stuff? What are you hoping to get out of the channel?
I can tell you, I don't really know how many videos I have. I have about like, I believe I have 16 or 17, I want to say, but I'm not entirely sure. And I post things basically whenever I feel like it. I try and post things at least 3 times a month.
And when did you start your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Well, I started in mid-December last year.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
it's pretty
okay.
new. Cool.
What kind of inspired you to kind of start that? Because, like, what kind of made you think, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel and put myself out there?
Actually, that's a funny story. That was an idea, like, so my brother really likes watching YouTube videos, any sort of YouTube videos, mostly video games though. Then one day he walks up to me and says, "Nolan, you know what would be cool? If you could convince your parents to start a YouTube channel for you."
Hmm.
And then I walked up to my parents, like I was like, "There's no way this will work." And then I said, "Mom and Dad, would I be able to maybe start my own YouTube channel? My brother gave me this cool idea, and I really want to see if I can do it." And then my parents are saying stuff like, "Maybe we'll see about it." And then a couple days later, my dad comes up to me and says, "So, we're gonna start your YouTube channel, but you have to have some conditions in place. One, you cannot reveal your full name to anyone on YouTube. And two, you cannot reply to any comments or messages you get on YouTube without permission."
Hmm. That's good. Those seem like good
Yeah.
safety precautions, right?
I
So-
completely forgot about the origin of my idea for one. Like, I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot it was my brother's idea in the beginning until, like, you guys mentioned it, but I do not think he had in mind the whole music thing. He probably was thinking like maybe mostly bring him on so he can talk about video games.
Is he your younger brother?
Yes.
Okay.
He's younger than me by 2 years, but he just turned 11. So until I turn 13, he's technically an age
Yes, I
1
get
year
it.
younger than me.
Cool.
Do you have, I mean, like, so you said you don't reveal your full name on your YouTube channel. Do you just go by your first name, or do you have like a musician name that you like to go by?
It's just Ultimate Fiddle Player 1.
Okay. Cool.
And so I have a question about how you film your videos, because as somebody who's blind, I find that challenging knowing if my camera's positioned right. Does somebody do that for you, or have you
Yes,
worked out a
somewhat like
system?
so. The system is that my dad uses it. It actually has nothing to do with like my phone. So my dad is in charge of like positioning the camera and stuff. But other than that, the content is purely my stuff. Like, he doesn't give me suggestions on
Mhm.
what to upload, but like he helps me position the it's actually like he uses his phone. He
Okay.
positions the camera, and then after that he connects it to his computer and then uploads the videos to my YouTube channel through the computer.
So your dad's your tech support.
Yeah, he's my tech
Nice.
support basically.
I
And
want that.
however, like whenever there's an email for like say someone wants to like say there's a YouTube notification, an email for Ultimate Fiddle Player 1 that is designed to go to me,
Mhm.
because
get
because when he set it up, my account was in, like, when my dad set it up, he programmed my email account into it.
right? And do you get many people emailing you?
It's all I really get is like so apparently for YouTube, every month you get a notification, an email saying from the people running YouTube saying, here's how your channel did last month.
Right. Okay.
And then it's like the number of time spent watching for people and how many views it has in total for that month. And then like I can also check to see if I have any sort of how many views I have on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Are you mostly just playing though? Like every video is you playing some music, or do you talk as well? What sort of things are you doing?
Well, most of my videos are music, but recently I had 2 videos of me playing, like, using my braille note and teaching people how to use the braille note.
Oh,
Oh, I might go check that out later.
So when you're in my YouTube profile, you can go to playlists, and I organize some of my stuff in a playlist, except for like just not all my videos are in playlists though. Like there is
Yeah.
a braille note playlist.
so Nolan, are you still taking lessons then?
I am still taking, well, I was, but COVID shut everything down and it's not
Yeah.
opening back up.
Oh, okay. Are you doing like Royal Conservatory or like any kind of exams around your violin?
No, it's just like a teacher doing a private lesson with me, and
Mhm.
every day, like every Tuesday, I would go there and she would like teach me different
Techniques and stuff?
techniques, and then like after I got that down, I did like different songs.
Right.
And
So-
one nice thing about this teacher is that she is very nice and patient with me if I like don't really get anything. So
Had she ever taught somebody who was blind before?
no.
I was gonna ask that. So she hadn't worked with someone, so do you think she was a bit surprised or having to learn a little bit, or do you think she was really good right off the bat?
Well, a little bit of both actually. She was really good, but she was a bit she never taught someone who was blind, so I guess you could say like at the very very beginning she was a little bit unsure, but then she kind of discovered that I was still very very good at playing the fiddle, and well, I was becoming really good. And then she was like, at the beginning she knew she could like do it, I think, but she was a little unsure of what to do, but now she's like, it's not as confusing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We had kind of talked, but if you're not prepared, it's okay. But are you prepared to play something for us right now?
Yes, I have my fiddle down here right now,
Awesome.
and I will play a song that I made up myself.
Cool.
So my songs, I somehow have trouble coming up with names for them. So this song I could not come up with a name for, so I suggested it's called the Not Yet Waltz.
I love it.
But I never was able to come up with a name, so I think this is its name. So the Not Yet Waltz.
Yay, beautiful.
If you like that, if you like that song, you may be able to find it on YouTube by searching up Ultimate Fiddle Player 1 original music.
Awesome.
Because for
Cool.
some reason, my dad just decided to name the video that because
Yeah,
I
why
don't know.
not? That's really
It's
good.
very pretty.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thanks so much, Nolan, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to get to know you better. I'm so happy that you found Blind Beginnings. It's definitely one of the bright spots of this pandemic is just getting to know you and having you become involved in the organization. So thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thanks, Jinnie, for joining me today as my co-host. It was fun
Yeah.
to work with you again.
No problem. Thanks, Nolan.
Oh, and one
Thanks.
more thing. I have some books that I either did not like or is not like in Braille that I either did not like or is kind of below my reading level now, or both. And I was going to plan on donating some books to any blind people who are in need of Braille books.
Yes. So there's a few books, mostly kind of children's books. And if you are interested in having some Braille books mailed to you, email me, Shawn, SHAWN, at blindbeginnings.ca, and I can connect you or let you know which books are available because I don't have the titles in front of me. But
keep in mind that they are all in Braille, so there's nothing really for sighted children.
Yes,
That sounds so mean.
But thank you, Nolan. That's very generous of you. So we'll see if any of our listeners are interested. Thanks for joining us for Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast. For more information on Blind Beginnings, please visit us at www.blindbeginnings.ca. See you next time.